The idea behind this new feature is actually twofold. So we have one objective is to reconfigure large fleets of beacons, and for that you need batch configuration options. The other objective is to eliminate the operator on the floor that needs to do the actual configuration. So the idea is to introduce remote batch configuration. The remote part is done by reusing traffic that already exists between the SDK, the mobile SDK, and the backend. So up until now, if you're familiar with our solution, we used the mobile application, our mobile management app available on the App Store to do configurations. And the process would be something like you get an operator on the floor, installs the beacon, and then configures the beacon if needed. Now the difference is that you don't need to send that operator on the floor after you have the beacon installed, or the subsequent changes can happen remotely. So you just log in the CMS, you set the new configuration options for the beacons, either for individual beacons or using the batch option. You can set them for a large number of beacons, and then next time a mobile device that has our SDK reaches the proximity of the beacon, the configuration will happen automatically. So it can be done by one configuration manager who uses the CMS without anybody on the floor to help him out. Well, we kind of pride ourselves with being really careful about security. We were one of the first companies to have a private key on the beacon that gives you a high level of trust in the encryption algorithm and in the security aspects of configuring beacons. So when we architected that feature, we used the phone just as a proxy. It was never meant to hold any sensitive information. And the way it works through the mobile app is that the phone doesn't keep anything local. It only passes secure information from the server to the beacon and back. The best example here is actually why we implemented the feature. Is we felt that most of our big customers who started to do real-life deployments, when they entered the production mode, and up until now most of the market was in a let's test the technology, let's see how it works, let's do proof of concept, deployments of several tens, maybe hundreds of beacons, but that's all. Now when we're switching to full production mode, we're talking about thousands, hundreds of thousands of beacons. Now, tools no longer scale the same way. You kind of need to have centralized but also distributed control. And the idea behind the feature is that whenever you have a big deployment, you will want to have centralized control. So you need the cloud interface, and you want to reduce operator costs on the floor. So any client who's worried about high costs with the operations, who's worried about distributed control, who's worried about scale and large deployments, is ready to go from proof of concept to production deployment, will benefit from this.